And tired of being sick and tired, and often they blame their doctor. This dissatisfaction is surprisingly widespread. Studies indicate 1 out of 3 people seeks a form of alternative treatment. As you're about to see in a report we first aired in February, desperate people are trying daring remedies in a race for health and even survival. But is it a prescription for progress or just more pain?
It's one of the prettiest pieces of America, Washington State outside Seattle.
All these 97.3 KBSG and another.
It's where Dr. Jonathan Wright practices. He's a quack.
The fact is that you are a quack and proud of it.
Bernie, I'm president of the American Quack Association.
That's right, the American Quack Association.
Dr. Wright's one of the leading doctors in the field of alternative medicine.
Which was formed by doctors who got so tired of being called quacks by the medical establishment that they actually set up their own Quack Association.
So if I called you a quack, you won't be offended.
No, Bernie, the only time...
But to his patients, Dr. Wright is no quack.
Hi, Jeff. Dr. Wright.
He's a godsend.
I've been diagnosed with low adrenal function.
I had arthritis real bad.
Lots of allergies, low thyroid.
Good noise now.
They come here from all over the country.
Now, you live in Alaska?
Right. We're from South Dakota.
Oh, okay.
And for many of them, he is the doctor of last resort.
After going to standard medical doctors, I was told that all my problems were in my head. They didn't know what the problems were.
But like all of Dr. Wright's patients we spoke to, she says he not only diagnosed her problem...
How do you feel now?
Wonderful.
He fixed it. And what is Dr. Wright's special treatment?
I take B-complex and B12 injections weekly.
Niacinamide.
That's right, vitamins and minerals and the right diet. The vitamins are the high-potency kind, which are often taken intravenously. And the people who come here...
Right now, his calendar is totally booked up through the month of March.
They're not just patients, they're true believers. Believers in the power of vitamins, and most of all...
She gets well when she comes here.
Believers in the power of Jonathan Wright.
The medical establishment says, look, you can get your vitamins in regular meals. Here's this guy, Wright, telling people take vitamin this, vitamin that, you know, the whole alphabet of vitamins, and you're basically going to get better.
I went into medicine to help folks get better in the safest, most effective way I know how, and on top of that, use things that do the least harm.
And you think your way, vitamins, minerals, is the better way.
That's what our bodies are made out of. If you were going to fix your Chevrolet, would you use Ford parts? No. And if I'm going to fix a body, I'm going to use body parts.
But as you might imagine, Dr. Wright has his critics, and they come from the medical establishment. Doctors who say if Jonathan Wright is the savior his patients say he is, then he should be given the Nobel Prize. But if he's not, if he's peddling 1990 snake oil, then he should be thrown into jail.
I think that his representations are pseudoscientific nonsense. He's a wonderful con artist. I mean, he could sell you anything.
Victor Herbert is a professor of medicine at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York and a leading authority on nutrition.
In my article in the December Journal of American...
He calls Dr. Wright a nutritional cultist and likens his patients to Moonies.
It's a desire to have somebody solve your problems and a desire not to face reality. Let somebody else face it for you.
Dr. Herbert's words may be harsh, but they are just words. Last year, the Federal Food and Drug Administration raided Dr. Wright's clinic.
A police officer came in. He had a gun pointed directly at me.
And they went running in with guns and told everybody, freeze, get your hands up.
Shortly after that, just mobs, groups of men were rushing through the door.
I've seen pictures like that on television, and they're usually going after crack dealers.
That did surprise us somewhat because we literally don't have drugs in the place except for an emergency crash cart. You know, if somebody drops over with a heart attack, then okay. But we don't have drugs in the place.
So what were they looking for?
Or B vitamins.
They were looking for vitamin B, a type made in Germany, and a bunch of other remedies not officially proven safe and effective. And the FDA was also looking for machines like this, which Dr. Wright says can be used to test patients' sensitivities to food. In other words, it supposedly helps determine what you might be allergic to. It's called the Computronics machine.
Now, we use allergy meridians, acupuncture points from old, way back Chinese.
So you touch me with that thing.
Into your point.
Into my acupuncture point. And this tells you whether or not I'm sensitive to that food.
Right.
So after she found my acupuncture points, and after she ran a few tests...
Bear meat.
Bear meat.
So it looks like I can't get too close to bear meat.
No, I would kind of avoid it.
Lay off of the bear meat? And now avocado. I gotta stay away from the avocado also. So if I'm gonna have a bear meat entree, I shouldn't start out with any guacamole.
Right.
I'm not aware that it has any medical value.
Is there such a thing as a machine like this that actually works?
It's a wonderful con job, and anyone who believes that is a sucker.
Look at the kilos down.
No, the medical establishment doesn't think much of Jonathan Wright, even though he went to Harvard and the University of Michigan School of Medicine.
We do have available for any other type of information a toll-free number in the afternoon.
But he's got patients with glaucoma and arthritis and ulcers and all sorts of things.
She has brain allergies.
And they say they feel better after he treats them.
I feel like a new person. I am 81 years old, but I don't feel 81. Not anymore.
And she makes strudel and stuff again with her rolling pin. See,
well, all the things that...
Which is good for you.
Oh, yes. You can tell.
Is there any evidence that mega doses of vitamins can help people?
There is no evidence that megadoses of any vitamin have done any objective good. There's substantial evidence that megadoses of vitamins do a lot of harm.
Listen, they all say they feel better when they leave.
If you tell somebody something will make them feel better, they'll feel better even if they're dying.
So, who do you trust?
Pantothenic acid, about a gram a day.
The gurus of vitamins and minerals, or the medical establishment that thinks Dr. Wright is Dr. Wrong?
There is very definitely room for coexistence between this approach to medicine and, as I said, the good surgeon. The occasional use of a drug like penicillin for strep throat when we really need it. There is certainly room for that coexistence.
Why do you suppose alternative medicine is so popular with so many people these days?
Scam sells. Science sucks.
They said the Roadster was extinct, but we made the Mazda Miata anyway. Because some people might agree that driving for the fun of it should never vanish.
Do you know what's in your cereal?
Time.